I feel pretty comfortable with this, though, for Cloud9. I mean, you got Chilling Touch, you got the ability to take this fight if you want to. They're looking a little bit scared at the moment, but oh god, Vlad's gonna him. He's gonna end up going down here in just a second. Chains, yeah, he wanted to do something. Does a little bit too much damage too quickly. Chessie makes his way out of there. Oh, SVG pops a salve.
Probably meant to... Yeah, probably didn't mean to. You know, just Dota things, but unfortunately that does mean he's only on 2 tangos for wherever he's going to harass, and they're running an aggro try. This is really interesting. You can certainly get off the cold feet if the Searing Chains come out of Ritsu on time, and it is somewhat of a scary tri lane, as you just mentioned. You've got Arctic Burn, you've got Chilling Touch. It's really a weird one, though, because of the long cooldowns. Like, they can only go every minute.
Yeah, it applies that pressure, I think, that when the cooldowns are off, obviously Slardar is going to be able to move forward and get that experience, but they don't necessarily even have to commit all of the spells to be able to make sure that they get the kill, because there's always just that threat with all the slows that are going on there. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Slardar and get a little public lane, and is going to be hanging out here doing a stack and pull probably, and hopefully trying to make something happen. As far as mid lane though, Chessie is having a tough time so far. 5-1 on Brax versus the what is that? 1-0.
1-0, yeah. Part of that, I think, just the early engagement. Maybe he was expecting some more help from Bane. Instead, Bane had to go do things. I think Chessie certainly has a fallback mechanism. Quad can farm the jungle a bit easier than a Windrunner, so it's not all lost. Zizzy, though, taking huge amounts of damage top as well, and Complexity, as you pointed out, having trouble in other lanes.
Yeah, definitely. And you talked about it, the fact that you don't want to end up having that happen against Cloud9. He got really close to being able to get taken out there. Was able to tango dodge on through the woods at the last second while the pull was commencing, and just a little bit out of position. Not a huge deal so far, but across the board, you're hoping to see a little bit of, oh, maybe bottom lane going to be able to make something happen. They're just harassing away. These lanes are so scary out of Cloud9, except for bottom a little bit.
Yeah, the nice thing about bot is that Dust can hide in that wall for length of time, and he's probably not going to go down quite tanky unless he makes a misstep. Although the moment Swindle level 6, you want to leave as a task. If you get doomed, he's just going to walk at you with Scorched Earth. Gank looking towards mid though, and can they get anything?
It looks like probably not. I mean, they've got Nightmare and the DD. If maybe that was an Invis rune, I could totally see it happening. But still waiting for that moment to. It's like we about the draft. It's a little bit of a tough matchup because you want to be able to sort of be aggressive and own your lane as a Wind Ranger, but against the Queen of Pain, it's just not super viable. And just look at Bane right here. He's just the sort of guard at the pass there as he's sort of dodging and making sure that the Wind Ranger doesn't get absolutely anything in this lane. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, maybe if the Bane can get level 2, he can also be more of a pain. He can put the Enfeeble up, really nerf Brax's damage, but still, we're seeing kind of the downside of Bane in that he doesn't have a lot of great lane control. Yeah, just throws out the casual Nightmare. It's not the best, though. It's certainly not what some other heroes like the Wyvern have to counter the Lich even with the Ice Blast.
Yeah. Well, a bit of a slow start for this one. 19-3 on the Ember Spirit. Ritsu's getting everything that he wants in the lane so far, and does have that on up as well for that passive regen. Is there any so far thing that you're looking for to be the big item that you think is going to mean that somebody can go, or is it just a sort of combination of being in the right place at the right time?
I feel like that Zizzy needs the blink, obviously. You've got a couple other things where Lich wants to maybe get a few levels. Ember Spirit, though, as you mentioned, like, he can't really go. Oh gosh, Zizzy's actually thinking about going on him. He's gonna Slithering Crush, but Sprint, it's on cooldown. Zizzy, I don't think way out. He can try to TP, but they're gonna catch him, and he is dead. So a bit of a misplay there. I think, unfortunately, a lot of complexities here need big items before they can go. And this falls nicely for Cloud9, because Ember Spirits can tend out the farm, as is Windrunner, who wants her Agonins, of course.
Totally. Ooh, jumping in there, just going to be able to apply a little bit of harassment off to Brax. Hasn't committed the Windrun yet, will now. And there's the runaway. Just applying that harassment does break the bottle of Chessie as well. Why not? Biz rune or not, we're still going to yell at you. And Queen of Pain, now up to level 5. The mid lane hasn't gone the way Brax wants it. Thankfully, he's going to be able to salve back up and get back into here after the poison duration ends up wearing off. But still, it's not how you necessarily want to go. He's been able to come back into the lane somewhat, like 20-5 after the sort of miserable start that he had is pretty good. Oh wait, I'm flipping that.
Yeah, it was Jessie who was having a rough time, and this is just the power of Quap. She has the Scream, she can farm down waves that way. Also, as long as they're getting their stack on, which we can see Vlad doing now, she can flash farm. She may be about to take some Arctic Burn. I don't think they can kill her unless they get a Shackle, but still, it's going to force her to go back and bottle a little bit.
Really showing power of that Quap there, mixing up games as well. It's all fine, all good, all wonderful. Moving on up in this top lane, he's going to try and see what he can do here against the sort of creep cut in the way in Cloud9 do. So just having a field day here. 32 last hits at just about 5 minutes, 2,700 net worth, 600 against the next highest, and board. I think that's probably going to be the difference maker. The question that I have is if this is end up being sort of a more fighty style that we see some from Ember Spirit where he picks up an early drums, or if it's just going to be straight into the battle.
Oh, we actually have an engagement. Searing Chain Flash. Here comes the snowballs. Oh, he manages to dodge the ice, but not enough when the lands, so he goes down. Personally, I think the Ember, just because of the heroes he's up against, can afford the greedy bots build, and I know that's one I've seen Ritsu do a few times. Not wrong. They do, some of these players switch it up, and I think if he sees a lot of pressure, he end up going phase boots or threads, then working on his Battle Fury. There's a lot of options here for him, and I think it also depends on Frax is farming well, but you know, Frax maybe gets ganked a few times. He's like, look, I need to come help out, so.
Yeah, certainly.
A lot to that. This Bane, though, I have to say, Vlad not maybe having the game impact he wants. They're trying to go for a gank in middle, it looks like, but I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, goodness. It's coming in, and actually this stream onto Brax. Brax is just going to go down. Sonic Wave misses, though, and he might burn out. Is he getting bottle to him? Then he's not going to, and so suddenly Chessie, a big mistake there, and yeah, the salve out, saving Windrunner. That's got to be frustrating.
Oh, MSS coming in a second time. It's going to be able to land the shard down. Ooh.
That's a pause. Yeah.
It's going to be fine. Chessie looks to be fine with the blink away. Don't worry, it's all fine. But that was definitely pretty close right there. Could have been a kill if he wasn't so quick on the draw with that blink away. And the other thing there about the Sonic Wave is you can't necessarily blame that one on a on something along the lines of like a ping issue. He's still in the US right now at their house as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Wind Ranger not in a position where she's going to be able to shoot on down this Queen of Pain, and bottling on up should be perfectly fine here. Yeah.
So MSS maybe in a little spot of trouble. He's going to be nightmared. Do they have the follow-up to return around on him? Yes, they do. Goodbye, MSS. And yeah, he almost got the kill on Chessie, though. I feel like one of those unfortunately didn't go right, but you have to go for that play. If you can take out Chessie, you've work. This Doom as well, I kind of wonder how he's going to itemize. I think there are a lot of options for Doom. He's an offlane Doom. He might be the one going the drums, like you mentioned before, maybe picking up an early Vlad's.
It seems like that. He's got the Bastion already. I kind of like that sort of aura Doom, particularly try and group together and push as a unit. I don't know if Complexity's lineup are great at that until the Slarder ends up getting his Blink Dagger, but it seems like you could go for this type of route. The Phase Boots as well, to me he's going to be able to be in position to really take it. And of course the big nerf that ended up happening with Doom was changed to the Aghanim Scepter, I feel like. Obviously the duration, not the duration, excuse me, the cooldown of Scorched Earth was important, as we might be seeing a gank up in top, but the fact that Aghanim Scepter is no longer with it increases the time to what the difference is. He is going to take a lot of damage here. Snowball forward as well as the Ice Shards. He's going to fall. Kill for more with that Ember Spirit. He changes on over that girl and saunters away, happy as a clam. Ember Spirit, always the man.
Swindle does manage to pick up a kill on the Ancient Apparition on bottom lane. He did have to use the Doom, but still a good kill for him, and just going to walk away from this incoming MSS. I think it's still totally worth it, even though it's a support for Doom to get this kill, and he is rich. You know, he is farming up a storm, as you expect to Doom to.
Yeah, definitely 1,800 gold on him. Oh, Chain Frost going forward. Goodbye, Wind Ranger. Gets the shackle on off, but at the end, does end up paying for his life with that. Unfortunate there.
Yeah, really nicely spotted out as well. This ward doing lots of work there for the lineup of Complexity. In this game, despite a slow start, starting to pick up very even. Complexity is a little bit ahead in experience. You can say a lot of that's because of Lich and the fact that Doom keep the lane jungle a bit freed up, but it might help them out in the long run, of course, having up that ult already on Lich, while the A is only level 5, almost 5.
Yeah, they've been able to get those supports the levels that they needed, with the exception of Bane. Drums are going to be the first item for Doom, so he's going to be running around super duper fast. And it looks like they might be going aggressive up in this top lane again, or maybe just Brax is rotating to try and take the tower. Oh, ends up hitting
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So nicely done. Oh, looking for their chance to kill here. Now it's just going to be cutting the creep wave. 2 points in sprint means he's going to be running around so super fast and can be pretty aggressive, but looks like this tower is going to fall regardless.
Let's go, right? You can make an aggressive move on someone, but a lot of these heroes, maybe you go aggressively on them, they just walrus punch into searing chains, and of course the damage being amplified because of sprint, it's a bit of a pain. But they got the top tower. Brax is probably feeling good about this, and also, I have to stress, Ritsu is falling out of his mind. He's also level 8. The trade-off between mid and safe lane, or in this case, the tri-laned Ritsu, is that you basically trade farm for levels, and he's getting both. So he's ball on this Ember Spirit, and I expect a lot of impact regardless of whether he goes or rushes Battle Fury.
Absolutely. His restart fight. At least start farming. One of the two does have the invis rune now. Is going to try and do a little bit of hunting in the jungle, and if all else fails, to take on out these camps that are here. Looks like they might be able to find his. Going to turn around there. Probably a good option. It's a little bit terrifying if it ends up happening. 4 heroes up top, going to scout him out, and yeah, he probably should back on up at this point. Although, well, all right, throwing on down the amp damage to be able to scout a little bit. There's the jump board run. It's connected. Nice one. Project he's called push damage too quickly and nobody there to be able to help save him. Zeke out the chain, gonna connect on no real follow-up at this point, trying to the MSS is still taking a good amount of damage. Kalexi is chasing now. Vlad is looking for the opportunity to jump forward. Jesse's gonna be able to with the dagger, another little kill. Maybe they deny MSS here in a second. Oh no, the Salve Brain Sap staying alive. Can he survive? No, he's gonna end up going down. Queen of Pain gets that kill, and it looks like Brax is gonna be able to get away this time.
Brax's shackle there was insane. It's the second one. He tried to swap earlier with the shackle here, but it was still a pretty dang good shackle. Very quick reflexes, and that second shackle there probably could have saved us if it weren't for the Bane getting in range for the Brain Sap. But in the meantime, Swindle takes bottom tower. He's at least getting objectives elsewhere, and he's finished his drones. He's back up to 1800 gold. Probably a Vlad or a Shadowblade. It just feels like this game, because of the Windrunner, because of some of the other heroes, Shadowblade a bit better than a Blink.
Yeah, it's definitely trying to figure out what it is that you want to go for. Oh, I thought I started chains. That was just Mr. Ritsu, I imagine, farming away down here in the bottom lane. He's going to be going for those boots of travel. He's going to be everywhere all across the map whenever he needs to be. Vlad as that second item you're talking about. Well, we're kind of in this interesting stage right now because while Complexity have been winning, I think, a couple of these fights, they've been able to farm a little bit more effectively too. Cloud9 are about to start to get some of these big ultis online. Winter Wyvern just hit 6 a couple of minutes ago after getting all of that solo EXP in the bottom lane. AA has 7 now. You combo up some of these and all of a sudden the whole dynamic of this game starts to turn around, and it looks like they're going to maybe find out Vlad. I don't think they want to waste Winter Wyvern ulti on him though.
I think they might even just blow it. It's a long cooldown. The other thing to mention about Winter Wyvern and AA, times Wyvern's ult, it reduces 70% of the damage on people who are cursed to attack. Oh, we've got a snowball in, and it looks like I'm gonna be taking A blows, force punches. That enough? Have you used enough on him? Anyway, he's gonna go down, and now Swindle's trying to find someone, but he gets shackled up, and the cold feet will latch as well. Winter's curse having G-Freak attacking, but Quap Sonic Wave on the backlines. Here comes the Lich ult, isn't gonna bounce, but this is a very isolated SVG, and he is just gonna go down. I was going to say, before they blew everything on Vlad, the Winter curse reduces 70% of damage of the unit that's the Curse guy, so it means that if you Winter's Curse and then someone Sonic's waves them, a lot of the damage is reduced. But because with AA Blast you care about the debuff almost as much as the damage, it's still awesome. Like if you AA Blast Winter's Curse units, you're fine because you got the debuff on them.
Yeah, totally. Now that they ended up having to use all of those, how do you defend against Roshan? Winter's Curse is not going to be up for another 70 seconds. They toss on in the AA Blast, which is going to do a lot. Oh, there's the jump on it. Actually going to be able to do a ton with this one. Walrus Punch, Jesse is eliminated. Roshan still not falling. Swindle caught off to the side as well on the Doom. They're going to be able to Fiend's Grip him though, and it looks like Swindle's going to be able to survive through this. Roche still alive over here. And it's going to be able to Nightmare on up the range. going to be able to do any damage, and maybe they can turn on her now. After all that A blast is done, Swindle is still alive. Brax dropping low, still have the true sight on top of him. Zizzy has another crush in 2 seconds if they're able to make this happen. Nice shackle again to be able to keep him alive. The buyback by the Queen of Pain was the other part of that whole engagement that's worth keeping in mind. Still trying to chase here, despite it so long ago. A blast on top of Chessie, as well as the cold feet, doesn't end up getting caught in that, but I don't think that he dies here. There's going to be the kill on Ancient Apparition. FBG to fall as well, and just like that, Complexity is starting to tear apart these heroes. Ishard's going to block off windows from the rest of the herd. Snowball, he's going to take a bit more damage. Waller's punch down as well. The Nightmare keeping it a little bit longer. Oh, Ritsu stunned on up. Swindles ends up falling. Another Ice Shard's going forward. Do they have enough to get out of here? It looks like it. Tusk was finally able to kill off Bane, and the Wind Ranger finishes off the Doom. Finally, Lich falls, and when the dust settles, I don't even know. What's going on, Llama?
It's definitely a team fight in favor of C9. Even though they lost out on the Aegis there, they burned one. The buyback happened. Also, they managed to get a bunch of return kills, so certainly favorable for them. Going in for the kill on SVG, the Winters, the race, they shouldn't have bothered to, you know, even though you have a lot of damage to kill him, you should have just left it and walked away. Unfortunately, they got wrapped on, and Ember Spirit's going to be really happy with this. Average timing this patch on Battle Fury, 25 minutes. He's already got his bots, his Aquila, he's perfectly happy to get more.
Chessie sitting off to the side, doesn't have an Orchid quite yet, so that's actually being brought out on right now. No, it's just a TP, and they're not going to be able to find him. Doom was thinking about it, almost able to get that off, but such quick reflexes. Ember Spirit gets away.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ember Spirit things. He generally always escapes. That's why wouldn't be surprised to see Swindle go for something else. This Vlad's means he feels like fighting early with his team. And Quad is also going for an Orchid, so it's... Oh, did that forward be the smoke?
I think it was close. I think it was behind the tier 2 tower, so...
Yeah. If they were watching, they would have seen the animation for it, but I don't think they did, because we don't see anybody backing. If they had seen the smoke, Ember Spirit would be gone. But can they get anything? The Phoenix Script is online. They go in for the blink, and they manage to catch it. Oh, God. He's gone. The ulti is following. It's sad. Maybe he'll walk by the creep wave. Oh no.
If he walks, SVG got out. That would have been the worst if SVG was standing there and they just bounced around a little bit. Oh, the reveal of the blink as well. That's so frustrating. You really want to be able to get a kill there.
Yeah. First blink's always something you want to get a kill on. Luckily, has the Aegis for another 2 minutes. Maybe they can try to make something happen elsewhere. And look at all these sentries coming out from C9. They really want to make sure their jungle is safe for risk.
It makes sense. You know, you need to be able to... They don't have the best vision about Roche pit. Actually, never mind. Take that back. This one ward off to the side here is going to keep them vision. And also, Complexity haven't really been able to take it back. I think mainly by that team fight by the share, they're able to get on in there and de-ward all of the wards that were in the jungle by Complexity. So we kind of are back and forth. Tier 1 towers are down for both. Also, just the safe lane on either side. So the mids are still standing. I'm not exactly sure. Like, clearly, obviously, Complexity has a bit of a lead. It's not feeling super secure and not as far ahead as I think that they might hope to be.
They have another problem in that their lineup peaks a lot earlier. I mean, you can argue that Doom, he's always there to erase one if he gets refresher 2 heroes out of the team fight, but Slaughter isn't exactly a position 1 carry that ends up hitting for a lot of damage. Oh goodness, and we're going to be seeing Queen of Pain, Chessie walking into a bunch of them. There's the snowball. Can they catch him out? Here comes the Emperor, and Chessie's just dead. Abe wants to make sure, and now Zizzy falling as well. That is Aegis Stone. Can he get any sort of help? There's a Doom on the Wyvern, so no Winter's Curse here, but everybody's just escaping, and this time they might be able to pick up a Wyvern. The defense is from 1437. Well played. Let's see if Swindle's acting like a race dog can get any sort of slithering crush. AA going down, and now let's see about Ritsu. They're coming back around on the other side of the fight. The Phoenix Script stopped by the shackle. I'm not quite sure if I saw it right. And so it looks like Brack's gonna be able to just walk this one off. He might be able to get the tower in mid, but it'll be close. And Ember Spirit coming back in. Ritsu, he doesn't want to let this one be over. He dodges the slithering crush. Pushing out the damage to Swindle, but now a snowball in onto the dead hero. We're gonna have Farming Lich ulti while the shackle up on Dizzy means that he is in a spot of trouble. The ult is still bouncing, but it's done, and Brax has taken no damage. The ice shots end up picking off Zizzy, and this fight has gone horribly for Complexity. They need to get up. Vlad is still standing there, taking a lot of damage. Can he just auto-attack down? Do the Sonic Wave to finish him off. But a Winter's Ghost means they'll pick off Vlad and Chessie most likely, and Chessie is blown up by the ice ball. This team fight, I think it's finally over. I don't think they'll get Zizzy. Oh, as I say that, they snipe him.
Dire's middle
Oh
tower
my
is under
god, with the
attack.
keck at the end as well. Oh, team fight. Cloud9 looking so strong. I will say, I think that Slardar blinked into AA ult as well as just all of the damage coming out from the Ember at that last second, because he was trying to disrupt the team fight, didn't realize that the AA blast was coming in, and just got eliminated at the start of that one. We're looking at a 2,900 gold swing roughly, as well as 3,000 experience. The team fight that started right about here on the map and ended up just going all the heck on over everywhere. It was crazy. Walrus punch on in on top of Zizzy. Can he survive this? Doesn't get hit by the A blast and will find in the end Snowball. Oh, Vlad's still here. Can't keep him if they want to. Meanwhile, the Winter Wyvern is wrapping around on the other side. They're going to be able to take down Zizzy here, I think. Huge amount of kill. Nice defensive nightmare, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He does end up falling. Winter Wyvern picking up that kill. And Cloud9 firing on all cylinders. Bottom lane again. On Twizzles. Ritsu is all over the map, but they're going to be able to take him on out. The power shot finishes him. Goodness gracious. Cloud9, so savage.
Yeah, they're doing really well this game, trying to get some payback for that level 1 Roshan game. I also think Zizzy made a few mistakes there. I guess he didn't think he was the snowball target, because normally when you are the snowball target, you draw the snowball deeper into your team. But I think he moved away thinking... He was thinking, I don't want to be stunned in the path of it. He was thinking it was going to Bane. Not important either way. Wyvern getting super rich, probably working towards her Blink Dagger. We've also... Oh gosh, we have ice shots. Is this going to be anything 4-star from Freak immediately? I wanted to talk some about items, because we've had a bunch, but everybody's dying.
Everybody's dying over the mat. H&F was able to pick on up the Midas. We got Tusk with Blink Dagger Urn. Ember Spirit, as we've been talking about, trying to build on into that Battle Fury, and should get it relatively soon. Only about 1,200 or 200 gold away from finishing it off, excuse me. Meanwhile, the Wind Ranger Aghanim Scepter just purchased. Winter Wyvern trying to build in that Glimmer Cape on Doom Vlad's, as well as Drums Phase, Blink Dagger on Slardar, Orchid on the Queen of Pain. Everything looking fairly normal. Force Staff as well as on the Lich, probably in Glimmer Cape. Any items really stand out to you here that are going to be game changers?
No, I do like the Shadow Blade from Doom. I think it might be a little too late. Having lost their early advantage, it is something where I really feel like Cloud9 up to send into late game better than them. And while Doom was ahead for a while, it doesn't feel like he's far enough ahead to be such a big pain. Also, the AA Midas, he's going to have that Aghanims really soon, and I think this is the best decision by Complexity. They are actually looking for a kill, but if they just push bottom and not have to engage, it'll be better for them. As you mentioned, the team fight for C9 right now, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
they're ready to go.
Is under attack.
Also, they don't have a ton of minus armor on their team. No medallions or anything else like that at this point in time, but still a Winter Wyvern, or excuse me, the Wind Ranger with the Aghanim Scepter, it does out a ton of damage. Like, it's not going to burst somebody down incredibly quickly, but with the combination of everything else that they've got going, the magical damage, the fact that constant little chip over and over again,
Radiant's middle
it's pretty
tower
important.
is under attack.
Let's see, Z-Freak. Yeah, I'm not sure I get this completely. They don't hero like that Dark Seer or, you know, the Winter Wyvern.
Okay.
Brack.
Oh,
Alright, that's a kill.
yeah. So I wasn't sure which one of us was getting that one. Yeah, I said it's like really. Oh, Grip actually up on Ritsu. They've stopped the main Grip, but the Doom's already out. Can they catch Ritsu? Ice Blast Vlad in the meantime, and it looks like Ritsu's falling on the backline. Vlad's just gonna get killed by MSS. He's trying to play the inevitable, but he goes down. Where are the rotations? They're chasing onto Ancient Emperors and managed to pick him, and it looks like MSS has escaped, but suddenly a good team fight for Complexity. I was gonna say Smoke Ganks will do it. I didn't think they'd get one this successful.
Yeah, I mean, look at the gold swing. About 2,500 roughly. You got a heck of a lot of experience. They're going to take tier 3, tier 1 off of this. Definitely tier 3. But
maybe, you never know. Maybe this push will never stop.
That's true. I mean, other thing here as well is that, like, if you take a look at the gold lead that Cloud9 have, sure, they scale really well into the late game, but it's only 3,000. No team has extended their lead beyond a 3,000 gold lead, and that's going to sort of mean that they're in a situation as SVG might end up dropping yet again here. No, they're back on out with the potential for deep rotations. Don't want to mess with it. the game is always throwable. That's actually what this is. We saw earlier today, I think at Dream League, like a 10k or a 15k net worth lead vanish in the space of 5 minutes. Can always throw these types of games. There's the catch on the Ritsu in the bottom lane. Doom coming on out. Need to be able to get it, do they? No, don't end up popping it, unfortunately.
Zizzy was hoping that Ritsu would man fight him, but Ritsu, he knows you're not. Like, he knows that he could beat Zizzy in a man fight, and so therefore he couldn't have been alone. So,
Right.
very obvious. And now I've scouted the Shadow Blade as well. So, that's pretty unfortunate for the lineup of Complexity, because Swindle actually hid parts of it in his stash in hopes that it wouldn't get scouted. And he's gonna full stealth away, but he's still very, very dead, and just gonna go down slowly. In the mid lane, it looks like we've got a Fiend's Grip as well, though. They can pick off Brax, but here comes Ritsu. He's got the Searing Chains chest. He managed to use the Sonic Wave to kill anyone. At the back lines, his teammates are all going down, and he doesn't have Sonic Wave for 8 seconds. Colt, Winter's Curse, locking him in place, and a power shot gonna be what finishes him, or helps finish him off. And yeah, all of that going wrong from Complexity. As we mentioned, very back and forth. I have to give Cena the edge with their heroes. And Roshan's back up.
Ready to go again, round
Yeah.
3. Later in that last fight, he was 10 seconds away from being able to toss out that Sonic Wave at the end, and it just ended up coming off of cooldown when he died. So a little bit frustrating there. Would have loved to be able to wait for that last little moment, but not going to be the case this time around. And the other thing that you mentioned here, the fact that Slardar doesn't necessarily scale the best into a late game carry, that's particularly going to be the place if you go for this very mobility focused build, where you go for this 4-staff dagger. You know, Blink Dagger alone, sometimes you would end up seeing Slardars go for like the armlet, into an AC or something else like that, but they need him to be that initiation as you end up Doom go down on top of Rack. He's about to fall here in just a second. I don't know. They're going to be able to deny him, I think.
Yeah, this is gonna be and Swindle's probably gonna go down here. Snowball to the face, and the Lich ulti doing enough work, but A blast keeping him. Whoa, that was an interesting interaction with the 4-stuff. Swindle does explode, and they don't get the kill on Brax, who's healing back up on the sidelines. Zizzy might be able to escape, does manage to just TP out. You have to be happy that at least one of your mates escaped, but Complexity not taking a favorable engagement. But Swindle's was super deep. Like, you have to know, you're right next to a tier 2 tower. You can't be playing up there when you're behind.
They did like a little gainer. Sort of the walrus punch backflip into a machine forward. But yeah, I mean, I think that if that play works, it's one of those things where it's sort of, if the play works out, awesome, you're amazing. If it doesn't work out, it's all or nothing. And that does feel like what Complexity need in this game at this point. They need to really sort of double down on the aggression and hope that it ends up working out their way. And if it doesn't, like, and this, I think maybe a sneaking a Roche, is that what they're going to be doing here?
No,
They're trying to get
like,
position.
they want to take a team fight, but as we've mentioned, their team fight feeling like it's lacking, and this is gonna work out for them. Got Zizzy, stop the initiation. Ritsu is sucked up if they can kill off the Wyvern, but she's still alive. Popping that Winter's Curse on the side. Ritsu might just die to that cross. I don't know if it's fallen, but we've got a Walrus Punch. The Wyvern's down. The Ember Spirit does end up dying to the Lich ulti, and now we've got a 3v4 on our hands. Zizzy getting a big slithering crush, and Chessie killing off people with that magical damage. The Shackle for once for Braxton didn't latch, and now they're following him up. They should be able to blink forwards, catch him out of position, and Brax is gonna pull Scream, missing slithering crush and auto attack. Gonna do the work. So a nice job there by getting the team wipe, and I kind of expected wherever Ritsu ran it off to, he'd be able to, but I guess his remnant mustn't have been inside the fountain.
That was enormous. 4,500 gold swing and 4,500 experience, and yeah, the Lich being able to push him off before essentially he did anything, because he was silenced, and then the only thing that he ended up doing there was tossing out the remnant because of just how effective they were able to get the initiation. You don't end up getting the silence from the Queen of Pain at the same time the Slardar Crush comes on in. I don't think that team fight goes as well, and now the will take Roshan off the back of it. He's just up on chat. And Complexity are back in this game, and I mean, they were never really out of it. I don't want to say, because it's just, it feels like as the game they're going to have a better time fighting. So I guess the lineup is more suited towards Cloud9 winning late. That doesn't mean that Complexity can't win late. Anything can happen in these late game scenarios, and maybe your team ends up going a little bit on tilt because of something that happened earlier in the game, and Complexity can get back into it. We'll see. I'm very excited.
I think just the loss is perfectly, as you mentioned, very well executed by Complexity. It worked on taking out the Wyvern early and also taking out the Ember Spirit. He was silenced up. Wyvern disabled by the Bane. So really got rid of quite a few of those heroes that would wreck them up in the team fight. But either way, they still had heaps of work to do, and Vlad being the nice course, holding Jesse's one, but other than that, having his Glimmer Cape up could be pretty big, because you can try to Glimmer Cape into Fiend's Grip. It's something that just helps you a little bit.
Yeah, certainly.
Even with the gem on MSS.
Right. Well, key thing here, Ritsu is now going to be going for a Lincoln Sphere, it appears. So wanting to maintain that survivability, there's still target spells here that can maybe break this. The thing is he's just going to need to be really on point with responding to the first one. Level death, the Doom isn't good enough for him to be able to get the Doom off, I don't think. Maybe you end up comboing something with like the Orchid and a Frost Blast, but that's going to require like a blink or just being in really great position by the Lich. It does feel like after this ends up coming up, the team fight, oh god, unless just Swindles dooms him from the high ground. I don't know, I don't think they can fight this one. They need to be able to have everybody there for it to work.
As you mentioned, it's something where you really need the jump, and that's what Remnant instant cost point. If you don't get the jump, like even having to expend level death on him, that's enough time for the Ember to get away. So Lincoln's really nice here, and it's a game where maybe you can argue a bit more, something like a BKB, but you can't afford it. There's quite a few things here which go through BKB, and just the Lincoln should be enough to waste spells, but they want to go on to Ritsu before he gets it up, and actually Swindle going for the Doom. Just gonna walk out into the creep wave.
That's a little unfortunate. I love back. Do end up spotting him over there, TPing away off to the side here. Run away, no problem at all. He's going to be building. I'm assuming this is not going to be a Yule Scepter. This is almost certainly an Aghanim Scepter, but occasionally you do see Yules on Ancient Apparition, and it's really strange.
Yeah, it's most likely the Ags, as you said. Potentially something where maybe they've like, oh cool, guys, we need a full staff really quickly. Maybe they said they need the Yules to stop out the Fiend's Grip, but as I said, I'm pretty sure Aghanims. We've even seen players sell their items if the high push is coming to make they have the Ag for, because the increased duration up to that 17 seconds, so good.
Absolutely, it just is completely game changing. And I think the other thing is when you're dealing with these heroes with incredibly high mobility, like Ember Spirit, that ability to make sure that you can't regen. It means that even if you get away sometimes, if you dole out enough damage with a Doom, if you dole out enough damage with just the right clicks or whatever, he still can go down, and it really can be a huge game changer.
Yeah, certainly something nice, and it's going to stop the healing coming out of the Doom. Oh, do they have a mech carrier yet? Sometimes Z-Freak will end up buying it. Doesn't look like they have one, but they have the urns from... Oh goodness, catching up Dizzy. The shackle doesn't latch, but he's blocked out by the shots. Oh, he's gonna full stomp away and get out. Doesn't even get hit by the A block. And Swindle thinking about coming back in, has his Shivas, and also Doom Rack Slithering Crush to follow. But suddenly they realize they're not the right part of town. Here comes Jesse though, and with a well-placed Sonic Wave, he could kill a bunch of people. There it goes. A Scream No, just auto attacks will do it, and they're not able to deny off Brax. MSS running for his life now. He's gonna just blink away. Could just be an easy tower push for the lineup of Complexity. I don't think they'll get much more out of it than that. Ritsu trying to force them home by pushing out top lane as well.
He's doing everything that he needs to do, Mr. Ritsu. This lane is going to they need to wait for the creeps again. The key thing right now, he doesn't have his Lincoln up quite yet, and we just be able to finish off. Oh, there's the silence. This could be the moment right now. He didn't end up hitting the crush, but the silence is still there. Bash one time. Oh, the Queen of Pain has a sheep stick.
Oh, he remnant into the wrong remnant. Oh goodness, he's just dead. I think a bit of a mistake. He had a remnant further back, but yeah, he must have clicked the wrong one, and they still had him amp damaged.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's hoping to be able to get out of there, but unfortunately that remnant, of course, gonna be the one that he casted. That's the one he goes to. Fight recap. Then bowling. The key thing though is that like the gold doesn't matter as much as the items slowing down, because now, well, he bought the Lincoln Sphere recipe. Okay, so he's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world, but still, you don't want to losing this time when he could be farming. 50 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's Complexity giving themselves more and more of a window, right? They very much, we've discussed it, they don't have the late game. You just need to extend your weird mid-game window and see what you can make of it. The other thing I want to bring up is Swindle's going the Shivas. I have to say, I like it a lot. It's really, I mean, yes, you have stuff like Focus Fire, but it's going to help them quite a bit in team fights, and also it gives vision. So, just little things where maybe the Ember has a remnant up in the trees, and you're able to scout it with the Shivas.
The other thing is it's pushed out. Take a look at what this lineup from Cloud9 is trying to do right now. You've got the Wind Ranger who's going to keep on power shining them. This is going to ensure they get that leader's ages, and for complexity they want to be able to keep on pushing. They want to apply the pressure, and you know, Shiva's guard is a good way to nuke on out that creep wave in conjunction with the Scorched Earth, and maybe being able to save the Scorched Earth, that way if you get on, you have that extra little bit of regen to survive throughout it. But as I say, the A blast is going to end up coming in, deal out a good amount of damage to Swindles, and I think they're going to be able to take that tower, no questions asked.
They've got gems as well up in both teams. It's something I really like seeing. I maybe wasn't expecting it on both teams so early, and it's kind of unfortunate for complexity. At least they haven't been able to scout. There's quite a few deep wards that they've just not managed to walk over with the lid.
Dire's bottom tower
But
is under
help their
attack.
map vision. I really also like Chessie's build up. While it items, it sort of means you can fight more. I don't think this cheap stick really needed against Ritsu against a Windrunner.
Yeah, now they have Lincoln Sphere on. You have two ways to be able to break that. So you drop on down the Orchid, immediately follow it up with the Sheep Stick. And my fingers aren't that fat, but I'm sure these people are. So that was going to end up working out for them.
He'll probably shift queue it. Chessie is a very experienced player, so I have to imagine he shift queues it. But when has up her Chrysalis, Brax is now hurting. If he manages to hit you, you know, maybe they Winter's Curse the Doom, Brax will kill him off in the face of that Winter's Curse.
Yeah, we were talking about sort of the peck that you end up seeing a lot when you're playing the Wind Ranger with this Aghanim Scepter, and all of a sudden, more it's going to be pulled on out, and we'll see how Doom is going to be able to deal with, honestly, any hero. Oh, there's the Doom down on top of 1437. So damage disappointed, but Swindles might end up taking life as well, and there's what we're talking about. Shackle immediately into it, so much damage being doled out, and the slow coming out as well from the Sigil, going to connect. Look at it. Oh!
Okay, that was.
That.
I think that they They knew that Shadow Blade was coming off of cooldown again, and maybe they were worried he'd somehow get away. But they have a gem on Tusk, and as you said, not 100% sure that was needed. It could also have been the nervousness of they didn't actually see anyone. I know they did. They should have seen the rotation by the Dire. But either way, you know, you can just say, hey, we used the Winter's Curse, but let's just not take engagement for 100 seconds, which for the lineup of Cloud9 is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we're sort of in this situation where you don't necessarily want to rush all this stuff down. You don't want to fight a ton. You have stopped their push effectively. You don't need to take an objective yourself. Keep on farming. Like, they're not going to be able to push again until Doom is back there and back. They're going to hit a shackle on his Dizzy. Oh, that force stuff might have kept him alive right there. But they're comfortable at this point. Like, they're not going to push again without Doom. You know they're not going to push again without the spell back up. And by the time he is back up, it gets out there. Winter's Curse is going to be back up as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know exactly the right spot. It feels like they need to pick off. Both teams might just be eyeing up Roshan as well, which is a super long spawn coming up here. The game plan, it's going to be interesting because Ritsu, he is still farming up a storm on Ember Spirit.
He's almost going to be able to build into... Is that the second Battle Fury that he's going for? Chessie actually breaks the Lincoln's, not able to quite find the kill. Or he's going for the Daedalus. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Roche responded in a minute. They were able to get Doom back off of cooldown now. Shadowblade on up to try and find a kill, but it looks like Cloud9... Oh, actually... They're going to find him here. Brax looks to be the Doom target they're going to go for. They end up breaking on out there. No Windrun is off there, but Ritsu in the middle of all of them. Walrus Punch down on top of the Doom. He is burning very quickly. He already got his spell off, though, so he's in a pretty good spot. Zizzy is in the middle of the little catch. Brax with the stun, still not dead throughout all of this. Chain Frost bouncing around. Looks like Z-Freak might end up going down if he doesn't end up being careful. Oh, Ritsu's back. So much damage. Jesse is going to be able to toss out the Sonic Wave, but misses again. An MSS was the only one that was targeted with that one, and he still survives. 3 dead for complexity. And just like that, you start with the initiation with the Doom, and you're still not able to find a kill.
Okay, something I have to clear up because folks don't seem to know this. Can you mouse over the remnants? Kill for a second, because some folks need some education here. Folks, you get to target which remnant you arrive to. Just in case folks don't know, you get to choose where you go. So Ritsu really did choose the wrong remnant. It's whichever one you click closest to. The targeted remnant is the one you go to last. You do jump through. You get to choose which one to go to. Could have chosen the further one away. As we see Ritsu again in a pot of trouble. Forced up, pulling Zizzy in close enough. Ritsu popping out a red. He's gonna try to do the go away thing, but there's gonna be a blink up in 1 second, and they see him. Slithering Crush lands. Do they have the damage output though? They're pinging out the next remnant, and they managed to pick up Ritsu here. So well played.
They do, but they're XD tossed out as well. Cloud9 now feeling comfortable taking on out Roshan. They ping it on out for complexity, so it looks like they're going to come and contest this if it's possible. And the damage is there, but is it going to be enough? It looks like Doom is going to be there in time. No, they're not. This is going to be. They're going to be right now on Cloud. Always good to clear things on up there. Twitch chat. He's left on the ground. Brax ends up going on back for it. Oh god, that might have actually costed them now. Zizzy ends up getting the amp damage. Nice shackle gonna connect after the force staff. Snowballing up to the high ground. Continuing to chase. There's the catch. Brax is gonna end up potentially going down. Does a cheese up. Alright, dodges the AA blast. Alright,
yeah, Rich is still dead. They should be able to get the secondary. Holy cow! That was an auto attack that did half of Brax's health. Going in further, he caught out of position, turned into a little bit of a piggy, and now Zizzy thinking about going further. He doesn't want to burn this BKB, but I think you just gotta go for the safe play. And suddenly 3 dead. Ritsu should respawn before this, but A blast down for at least a few seconds. Actually gonna be up right about now, and with Ritsu spawning, maybe you can time the two.
Yeah, oh god, Winter Wyvern's still a little bit away from buyback if they need it. Winrain has been able to have it as well now, so if they fight this they can, but they're going to Wyvern for another 30 seconds. I think that at this point, Complexity can probably just take Chessie, ends up being force staff back north. They're being for so has 3 people caught as well. Oh, the kid coming out. No, the Able is not going to be able to be another dead.
Yeah, that was. This isn't the, like last games you were costing with the 7k gold on the AA. He went down, buys back. They've got a secondary gem that they might be able to steal up, but I don't think they're saving their melee rack. Looks like that one for sure gonna go down, and really well played from City there. The pop getting out alive there was beautiful.
No, totally, it was awesome. I mean, you get force staff and then back into the Sonic forward. That completely and totally changed the dynamic of that fight. It is a 4,200 gold swing as well as 5,500 experience. The buybacks happened, and the A blast, they're all back up. They might try and go for a round 2 here. Do they have the ability to take it? I'm not exactly sure. Winter's Curse is back up again, as is the A blast. They just spread out and be very, very careful about their positioning, and it looks like they're able to get the melee back in a little bit. He's going to remain strong on the high ground and take on out this last barracks here.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks.
Oh man, my BKB picked on up on the Doom, and just like that, those couple of team fights. Complexity, look at the gold swing.
Yeah, this game has been all over the place. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. Taking a Rax will definitely give you a big buff of gold like this, but it's certainly now looking like it is in Complexity's wheelhouse. They do still have a few tier 2s to get down, so certainly something where Ritsu with the bots can try to make work happen all over the map, and he's actually, instead of finishing a full Daedalus, he has 2 crystals, which is an interesting choice.
Huh.
I think
I'm
just
not
wanting to
try
make
and do
sure. It's the way crystals work is they check one, check next one, so you're gonna crit more frequently this way. Your crits will be smaller, and of course you don't have as much damage, but he could be right here, depending on if they can get Complexity to group up.
Yeah, I think that this would be I mean, you want to be able to make sure that you're able to dole out the most amount of damage possible as quickly as possible in these types of fights, particularly with the Winter Wyvern there as well. Wondering now, so Fresher up on the Queen of Pain does not have Aghanims. Kind of interesting, just sort of that burst, and now the cooldowns are somewhat equitable, a 60-second difference between the 2 of them. Do you think that you go back for Aghanims at some point on this quap, or is it worth it just to sort of stick it as is and maybe go for an AC next?
I really like the refresher. I think she's doing the right thing for the team fights. If she will need the Aghanims, it's going to come out if they are being pushed themselves. So I think continuing to go, knowing that you're ahead, continuing to push your advantage, getting something like the AC, or she might even go for an good to see the Slithering Crush onto them. There's an Sonic Way. Oh, she got the second one though. She isn't every Chessie holding it. Finally pops that rush. They're gonna have a second to BK, and she is in their base. So is Swindle Melons. I'm not sure that they'll actually catch anyone out here, and those may have just been wasted BKBs for the both of them. got some big kills, but not sure if it was what they needed to do in Complexity, because they still have tier 2s to work down.
Well, and it's the reveal of, as we see Z-Freak 4 staff away, it's the reveal of the refresher, and also they don't have this tier 2 now, so kind of funky.
Definitely.
Double gem up on the Lich as well. So, alright, we'll see how this ends up going. They're going to be able to take down this barracks at least. Do we have vibe on the Tusk or the Ancient Apparition? No. They're going to try and push their luck, at least for a little bit now. The Quap is just freaking farm. Chessie is playing amazingly well right now. 24,000 on him. Next highest is going to be Doom, and he's 4,000 behind him. So they're in a good spot. I think that at this point in time, Complexity are just comfortable to sit up here, and they don't even need an Aegis to go for this one.
It's certainly, oh goodness, to tackle onto Swindle, they have the flip, they certainly have the damage, but they can't see him because of the Glimmer Capes and the fact that they lost their gems, and pick up Chessie's Sonic Wave again. Out of melee racks, but here comes Ritsu, he's getting a few crits, Ice Ball's gonna help him out, Chessie isn't gonna take the damage, but certainly gets a debuff applied, and Swindles may just, oh, he's got a long, it's 17 seconds, with the Glimmer Capes he shouldn't shatter. So, they do get another racks. I also want to say that I think if you've got to be a hero up against defending your base and dealing with megas, Battle Fury Ember Spirit is one of the ones you want to be.
Absolutely. No, if you want to be able to sort of survive to the late stages of this game, that's the hero that's going to be able to keep you there. What is a 15,000 roughly lead, as well as a 12,000 experience lead? It's still one of those situations where you never know. Like, they got the A blast, they've got the damage coming out from the Ember Spirit. Winter Wyvern is just one of those heroes that can change the dynamic of a team fight so completely just by the virtue of that one skill that you're never going to feel comfortable here. If you're Complexity, you might just end up losing it if you get a little bit too overconfident. And certainly there have been bigger throws than this for it. They do end up taking this game.
Yeah, 100%. It's safe to say, I think, though, that this Complexity's lose. As A is this fantastic late game hero, as is Byron. One of the people I'm worried about falling off here is MSS at Tusk. Yeah, you can still make big saves with the Blink, with the Snowball, but he doesn't have a damage output type of build, and the Ice Shards at this point in the game, with a lot of heroes being more mobile, okay, Queen of Pain is building an Abyssal? Am I seeing this right? Sorry, got distracted. I was trying to say Tusk starts to lose some of his effectiveness, just with the way his hero will always what?
Yeah, double Abyssal. That's great.
It's not bad. I just wasn't expecting to see it on Queen of Pain.
Absolutely. This is worth noting, by the way, that I think that when they're in the game, she ended up going like Manta first. Chessie is not a for very interesting, unique builds, and I don't think that this is the weirdest Queen of Pain that I've ever seen before. Manta first probably was, but still, I think you see the need in your lineup for the serious lockdown. You already have the
where did you want to
back up? I saw it in a game with Chessie, actually. Chessie was the one that went Manta first on Queen of Pain.
Really, it's Chessie. It's Chessie things, apparently. If it worked, we can't even get upset at him, can we? But smoke. He goes in for the Warriors Punch. The A blows completely off the mark, and he's gonna get Winter's Curse up, pounding in him, even with the on his Izzy is fallen. But it looks like Brax will be soon to follow on a Sonic Wave. Chessie managing to catch a few. He doesn't have enough pressure, but they isolated him. And Warriors Punch Man, Emma's the only one left, and they just hold it.
GG, absolutely spectacular. Complexity able to make that happen. The stall looked like it was going to be a good save there by the Tusk, but not able to happen, and Complexity take game one. This is the elimination match. If the Cloud9 lose this one, they're going to get knocked out of the two separate tournaments 2 times in one day by Complexity. Start of a rivalry? Maybe.